Welcome, Throwing Hammers podcast for Five City.
Welcome, welcome.
A little fight night review with Jan and Merab. But yeah, we were just kind of shooting the shit about the Volkov fight.
Yeah. Yeah, he took care of Romanov pretty quickly. I don't know. He looked like a lot, kind of just overwhelmed him, size, and he was in really good shape. It looked like, and just kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, Volkov, I don't know. Like he lost his last few fights, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say he was kind of sliding. Obviously he's got the insane tattoos.
Yeah.
Let's see. In 2022, he beat Rosenstrike, lost to Aspinall. In 2022, back in 2021, beat Tybura, lost to Cyril Gahn, and beat Alistair Overeem. So kind of had an up and down. Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
Guy's a superhuman.
No, he's fought everybody, really.
I was going to say, he's a guy who's definitely made his way through the heavyweight division. Always a fun one to watch.
How come I don't remember the Rosenstrike fight? I don't remember that.
Back in 2022.
Last June. Yeah.
Dude, every time I think of Rosenstrike, I just think of him getting knocked out by Overeem, where his lip, it was like the worst, dude. It was the worst.
That was the worst.
That was
probably the worst. You saw that, right? Did you see that? It was like that was the worst thing I've seen in the UFC,
He took his lip off, basically. It was gross.
Well, and that fight was like 5 rounds back and forth.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the end that happened. It was like a couple minutes left in the 5th round or something.
Yeah. That was gruesome. Yeah, every once in a while you'll get a fight like that where it's like, holy shit, man. They just get, I don't know. But I don't know. This fight, I don't know. He took care of Romanov pretty easily, TKO in the second round. Or
yeah.
The round.
What they were saying, too, about this fight is that Volkov usually starts kind of slow, whatever, but he must have they said he must have saw something that he could take advantage of in training camp or on tape because, he just took it to him right away. Started landing great punches and stuff like that.
He seemed much quicker. Seemed to just kind of overwhelm him. I don't know.
Yeah, Romanov's game is really on the ground, so he took him down once or something like that. But I don't know. Volkov looked really good, but I don't know. He's a good fighter. He's been around a long time. So
I was gonna say I'd like to see him kind of make a run up these rankings again. I don't know what he's ranked right now, but it would be sweet to kind of see him make a run. Like you said, he's kind of a vet, been around forever. Known for his insane back tattoo.
Ranked, but
does he have the hammer?
He's got like that big. I don't know if it's like a Japanese samurai mask or something. Like, I'll pull it up.
Yeah,
or I'll throw it up on the edit.
It's crazy.
It's not the hammer that I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of the guy on the chest, Thiago Santos. Yeah. It's insane though. Here you can get maybe a little. It's like a samurai mask or something like that.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's insane. We'll throw it up on the screen, but that's nuts. That's fucking nuts.
Why can't I find it? Oh, here it is.
Oh, the rankings, yeah. He's got to be up there at least, no?
Yeah, he's 7.
7, so. Yeah.
Moved up 1, so.
How tall is he, dude?
He's tall.
Yeah.
He reminds me so much of, like, his body type
6'8",
reminds me so much of like Stipe.
I was gonna say he looks like Stipe.
Yeah. Even the face a little.
I always get them like kind of confused.
Yeah. Well, they look the same.
Yeah,
get kind of confused until I see the tattoo.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, some of these guys,
a lot of shakeups in the heavyweight division. Now we got Jonesy back.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see if Volkov. I mean, obviously you want to see him keep moving up. Maybe he gets a rematch with Aspinall.
That would be sweet. Aspinall got hurt in his last fight, right? Pretty bad. But I would love to see Aspinall come back.
Yeah, that would probably be a logical thing to do that again since Volkov looked good and, maybe Aspinall, like I said, I'm sure he's going to get back to fighting soon.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a minute. That was like that big UFC London card, I believe,
Yeah, that sucked. I was so disappointed.
I'm not in the camera on that. Yeah, I know. That was the main event too, so that was definitely tough to see. Speaking of main events, we can I don't know if you have anything else on Volkov.
No, but we can talk a little bit about
Krylov.
Krylov,
right?
I thought looked
he
amazing.
Always surprises me how big he is. I don't know why. I think he's like a lighter, or he's in a lighter division or something. But every time he comes out, I'm like, man, he is a big guy.
I love him. I mean, this was a crazy fight just on the ground. I mean, this is the first round, right? Submission? First round, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they were just, it was crazy work on the ground, just rolling back and forth between him and, Span looked great too,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Spann was the guy who was saying he wasn't training like much at all or whatever. Like the fight before this, he was saying something about how his training, he wasn't really focusing on it or something, which is weird. But I don't know. Got submitted in the first round. Krylov, like I said, he just seems like, oh, this is a catchweight fight. Huh.
It was because it's a rematch.
Oh, okay.
And they decided to do it at 185, I think. That's what I'm thinking.
185?
Something like that, yeah.
Interesting.
Or
Yeah, like I said.
No, 185.
No, they got to be,
185,
they're big. Yeah, like I said, Krylov, his size always surprises me almost when I see him. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I always think he's like a 155 or something like that.
Yeah, I think Krylov got sick or something a few weeks ago when they were supposed to fight or something like that.
You're 100% right. I remember because it was like it wasn't a bad card, but it was like a lighter fight night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember seeing Krylov and Spann. I'm like, oh, at least that'll be good. And then he got sick. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a main event too, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Great fight. I actually bet on Spann, so I got my streak.
Alive? Is your streak alive?
My losing streak alive. It's just freaking terrible right now.
Yeah.
So,
hey, man, it's hard to bet on UFC. You really never know what's going to happen, even if you have all the analytics and everything like that. Like, it's a fight.
Terrible at it.
Oh, we'll get there.
Anyways.
We'll get there.
It doesn't matter.
I was going to say, I put $5 on Jan. We kind of had, like, everyone was watching. Tanny put something on, or one roommate, Tanny put something on Merab. I think it was like a 3rd round submission or something like that. So I think I had a 4th round TKO for Jan. Obviously, didn't go my way.
I bet the same thing, and after that I was like, "What am I doing? It's going to go the distance." Like I just thought for sure it was going to go the distance, and
You were cooking.
I was making everybody food.
Yeah, you were. What were you making? You were making something.
Shit ton of pancakes.
Shit ton of pancakes. Joe, sidebar, Joe makes the most perfect pancakes you could ever see. Freehand, perfect circles. It's fantastic.
You got to make them bad. Canola oil. Anyways.
for some pancakes.
Yeah, exactly. What was I going to say? So you put the same bet down?
Yeah, I did. And then, like, as soon as the fight started, I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Like, I just knew instantly I thought this was going to go the distance. And I don't know. I just blank out when I'm betting and bet the wrong thing.
Yeah, I was going to say the bet to make, like, there was, I don't know what the odds were on a Merab decision, but it was high. Like, it was plus some. It was.
We told our roommate to bet. I told him 5th round submission or... Mm-hmm. I don't remember what I told
you. You were heavy on Merab.
I knew Merab was going to win.
Yeah. I was going to say, dude, I think Merab shot 48 times. He broke a record.
Yeah, record. 49 times, I think.
49.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's insane. I mean, the overwhelming...
He has one pace.
Yeah, it's just balls to the wall
Yeah,
all
it was
the time.
insane. Yeah. I mean, Jan could just not keep up with him, number one, and he landed a few good punches, but it wasn't... Like, he just couldn't... As soon as he'd throw a punch, Merab would beat him to the punch, it would seem like, every time.
Well, I remember saying that. I think it was in the 3rd round where I'm like kind of hoping Jan would get his striking up to par or whatever, kind of get that going. And it's like every time he moved in, even if he connected, he was getting hit with at least a jab from Merab. It was like he could never get any combinations going. He just never had a chance.
And I thought by at least the 3rd or 4th round, Merab would slow down, and he didn't. He just, like, it was the same Merab from the 1st round to the 5th round.
Right.
Crazy pace, crazy moving around, crazy, going for the shoot all the time.
Yeah.
And then standing back up and, dominating on the feet, too. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Could have fought a 6th.
Yeah, no, dude, like, people say that, but that legitimately, Merab could have fought a 6th, 7th. You know what I mean? He was just overwhelming pressure. I thought, too, when they came out, like, after the 2nd round, I'm like, man, Jan might have a chance to knock him out because he's going to get tired in the 4th round or whatever. And he just didn't. It's just insane. And I don't know if Jan's got some weird mental struggle going on because of his, like, man, he knees Aljo, right? Then gets the rematch with Aljo, loses a close fight to Aljo, fights Sugar Sean, loses to a guy with rainbow hair, very close fight. And then, whatever, super close fight. A lot of people maybe thought Jan won. A lot of people went back, decided that Sean actually won. So he's kind of sitting with that. 2 really tough losses, and then comes out here. Just doesn't look like himself. I don't know. Just didn't look like himself at all. Maybe it was Merab. Maybe Merab just overwhelmed him and made him look like that. But I don't know.
Sounds like he got lucky against Aljo once, and then he's kind of being put back in his place.
Yeah.
Statistically.
Yeah.
You beat somebody once, then you don't win again.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, he's I mean, back before all those, back before even he kneed Aljamain in the head, I thought Jan was like one of the best fighters I've ever seen because he just was amazing. You know?
Well, he was a top tier boxer in the UFC.
But,
I mean, not anymore. In my he's just not.
Kind of like tried and true though that like boxing won't always win an MMA fight. Like,
right. Yeah.
Almost all the guys who are champ have a wrestling background. Like almost all.
Yeah.
But
no, I definitely agree. I mean,
or a predominantly wrestling background if they strike like wrestling.
Yeah. No, 100%. You have to, if you're going to be a champion in the UFC, that means you are fighting the #1 guy every fight. You know what I mean? You have to have the boxes checked. You have to have every part of your game dialed to a T. You know what I mean? Obviously. Not saying anything a fighter doesn't know, but it's like, I don't know. You got to have some sort of, and Jan was able to stuff the takedown and stuff like that, but he really was not, I don't know. He just couldn't keep up with Merab. That's the main takeaway.
Yeah. I mean, it was dominating performance. Like all 3 judges, 50 to 45.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, that's one of the ones that the judges probably couldn't fuck up. You know, it was pretty clear.
Yeah, it was definitely not, whatever. It's one the judges got right for sure. So, but now we have a problem. There's a problem in that division.
Yeah, well, Dana sees a massive problem.
Yeah. I wanted to bring that up. If I literally just thought of that. What do you guys think about that? The whole Merab not fighting Aljo. Aljo's gonna
Dana likes money.
Up. I know. Yeah,
that's all it is. Dana likes money.
I mean,
and Dana's not a fighter. Sorry. So he's like, sure,
true.
he owns the thing and he understands. Oh, so your friend can have something, you can want it. What the fuck? That's your boy.
Yeah,
I mean, like what?
I'm surprised that we haven't ran into this more, where like a guy.
I think Merab's also from like, he's Georgian and he takes shit very fucking seriously.
Right.
And you look at all these Russian guys, like it's like pride, family, fighting.
Yeah, right.
So
no, 100%.
Understandable why he doesn't want to do.
And that's one thing I thought was like I just find it a little weird. Like Merab's motivation for this fight, it was like because Jan's from Russia. And like, I don't know, to me, I just feel like just because a guy's from another country doesn't make him a bad guy. Yeah. Like just because your country is a fucking disaster and is running over people, that doesn't mean you feel that way. There's a lot of things that the U.S. does that I don't agree with.
Right.
Yeah.
But don't hate me for it. I just live here. You know what I mean? It's like there's not much Jan can do about, Russia invading Georgia or Russia invading Ukraine. I mean, whatever. Not to get political, but
no,
I just think it's a weird motivation that, unless you got a personal problem with the guy or you just don't like him for some reason.
It's pretty common, though.
Yeah.
If you look at every other sport that plays on like a global standpoint, it's almost like the first thing they go for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
no, yeah. I mean, it's definitely whatever.
It's also like the most motivation you could ever get. Your country's killing my country or killing another country. I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's true. It's
he won the
definitely
fight.
motivation. It just isn't something that I would motivate myself with. That's all.
Yeah, we also don't fight.
But I'm not a fighter.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, man, it's crazy, though. I wonder what Jan's going to do next. I mean, we can talk more about the Merab not fighting Aljo if you want, if you have anything more to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, Jan might be moving into that category where it's like, okay, what's next? Super fights. I don't know.
Right.
He's
Even
one of
if
those
he
guys
hasn't
that's like
super fights?
moving down the rankings like that.
Yeah.
Is he big enough for a super fight?
I don't know.
That's what I mean.
And,
I don't know
and who's a super fight against? I mean, maybe it's Dominic Cruz. You know?
It's not even a super fight.
I mean, right. But I mean, that kind of like legend category almost,
I mean, he's going to move into the fighting maybe older guys now.
Seems like he's going to be a gatekeeper.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah. If he can sit, that's probably, you're probably right.
Probably a lot more than super fights because you got to be a big name to bring money in.
Yeah.
But I mean, but you're right. Maybe guys like this Ricky Simon's really good. If Ricky Simon wants to move up in the rankings, you got to fight Jan. Yeah. That kind of thing.
Well, in reality, I think Merab was alluding to Sean should fight Aljo next. Sean's going to win, and then he's going to fight Sean and take the title back.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know Merab said something, too, about, like, Aljo thinking about moving up in weight, and when he does that, he'll, abandon this title or whatnot. But it's like, seems like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm surprised we don't run into it more, where there's a champion at a certain gym, and then another guy's coming up, and they're like, oh, I got to fight my best friend now, or whatever. Maybe it has happened. They don't really have any qualms about it.
Yeah, there seem to be so many... I don't know. Maybe they do that purposely, though. Maybe they don't go to a gym that has, when you get to be a top-ranked guy,
150 billion%.
Yeah,
you're not going to train with the guy who's your top competitor.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So this is kind of a weird situation for sure.
Right. Yeah.
But Merab also came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like last year, who was Merab?
Yeah, I was gonna say he's came up.
Put around for a year. Really.
Put himself in the forefront this year for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so who knows what's going to happen there? But I mean, we have, Vera and Sandhagen coming up, which will be great.
Yeah, same division, right? Yeah. I mean, you can't forget about Cheeto in this division. Cheeto Yan would be a good fight, I think.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's way too early, but I would love to see when Sean is a long reigning champion in that division for Yan to come up and try to take it again, and Sean just beats his ass. I don't know. That would be sweet. That would be sweet to see an eventual rematch, maybe a couple of years down the line, when Sean has retained the belt and beat everybody who he needs to beat. I think that would be sweet.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting to the point too where, I mean, so Aljamain is fighting who next? Do we know that yet?
I was gonna say I think it's between like I don't think anything's scheduled. No. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. It's getting to the point now where it's like, okay, Sean should be fighting somebody. You know what
right,
I mean?
and he's kind of oh wait, I'm sorry. Because who's Sean the like replacement for type beat? Like he's like gonna be there.
Backup.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't exactly. Okay, so I guess.
Oh, that's right.
So Hudo's scheduled. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
I
forgot about that. Yeah.
Okay, so and then Sean is the backup for that, but I just heard Sean say something today about how like he's like, yeah, I'll be the backup. He's like, I'm not cutting weight though. He's like, if both fighters are there that week, he's like, there's no reason for me to cut down to that weight just to be ready or whatever. So who knows? Unless there's an early pullout, I think that'll be the fight, and then we'll see Sean maybe fight the winner of that, because I think Sean was also told that his next fight will be for the title.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's that.
Yeah, we'll see, but that's not. I mean, realistically, that's not happening until the end of the year, though. You know what I mean?
Right, because they're going to fight in May,
long,
and then
I mean, it's March. They're fighting in May. That means next fight's in November, probably.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Sean's at that big name level guy though, where he doesn't have to fight 3 times a year though.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Conor never fought 3 times a year.
I mean, especially Sean bringing in money out. Like he's one of those guys.
If they had PIP, he'd be #1 every single time.
Yeah. And I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next couple of years they kind of introduce something like a player impact program or something like that, where the players can retain some of the money.
I feel like it'd be in the future. Like they're still too new.
Yeah. Yeah.
They need to, you need to have they shell out, like when the PGA does it, they'll shell out like $500 million.
Yeah.
The UFC can do that.
Even if it's just a little bit though. Like I feel like that would tackle the underpaid fighter.
Well, it's like based on
too.
a percentage though. So like, I don't think they could pay it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were to like be like, all right, you get 13% of what you bring in. Sean O'Malley's bringing in a fuck ton.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, they're
going to give him that.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, main takeaway from this Merab Petr fight was just that overwhelming pressure. I don't think, whether it's a mental thing with Merab, he's just kind of, not Merab, Petr, he's just kind of, I don't know if he is screwed up from the last couple fights, having some tough losses on a big stage or what it is, but he just did not.
He got overwhelmed. I mean, he looked okay. It's just he just couldn't get started.
He couldn't get anything started.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Merab was just insane. He just was like, I don't remember a pace that was kept by anybody like that.
Yeah, testament to Merab for sure. I think it was whatever.
I wonder what the stats like for people who are in the top 5 and lose 3 times in a row and then get another shot at something. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
I feel like it's low.
Definitely.
It's, for anybody loses 3 times in a row,
you're
at risk of
I feel like Jan's closer to getting cut than
exactly.
Anything.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Like
for sure, he's on the slide.
Would be like the nicest thing they could do for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then he's also, it's like being a gatekeeper sucks. They want you to lose that fight.
Right. Yeah, exactly. They're testing to see if our new guy can do it. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So tough spot for Jan, but whatever. He lost me my bet, so I can't say I care too much. my $5 bet. Yeah. I don't have too much else.
No, I mean some good fights on a fight night card. I thought for sure, and better than most. You know?
No, yeah, for sure.
Better than most. So
yeah, I thought it was a great fight night. Yeah, it's cool when they put a bigger fight like this on the main event of a fight night, free fight.
Yeah,
get the lesser fans a little more tuned in for sure.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the whole thing when they started these fight nights. It was really to, it was basically to give you one decent fight.
Yeah, and then fill
it in, and it's just to attract the crowd. You know what I mean? But
well, now the great thing is you watch the prelims on a fight night, and it's these guys that nobody knows about who they're going out there trying to make a name for themselves. You know what I mean? So you might see something crazy.
Yeah, there's so many guys. There's just so many fighters. It's hard to keep track of, and that's what I find myself too. It's like, how do I, I saw this guy fight like 3 months ago. I'll watch a fight and be like, oh, that was awesome, and then I forget about that guy.
Right.
And then he'll fight like whatever 3-4 months later, and I'll be like, oh, who's that guy? And I'm like, oh shit, that's that guy.
Yeah, it happened with Renato Moicano.
Yeah.
He got slumped and then he won, and I was like, why do I feel like he didn't do that last time?
Yeah.
Because he got slumped.
Yeah, I have a real hard time remembering.
Matt Favola.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got slumped by Terrence McKinney, and then look at that. Look at the flip now.
I was going to say, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how fighters make a name for themselves, though. They get those, they get the real, like, deep into it fans that are watching these prelims on these early fight nights and things like that, and then they see him do something crazy, and it's off to the races from there.
Yeah.
Cool.